Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Alice and in today's I'm going to give you a brutally honest review of the Givenchy Antigona, including explaining why I personally decided to sell this bag. Now I will first give a bag tour, which basically means that I'm going to show you the bag and everything that is inside, and then I will discuss the pros and finally the cons of these bags, including why I am selling it. As always, you can follow everything by timelines below if you want to skip something. For reference, this is the Givenchy Antigona in medium size and box leather that gives it this smooth and shiny effect. In terms of layout, this bag is rather simple. As you can see, it doesn't really have much going on. It's one big leather surface. It has some leather feet at the bottom. These are meant to protect the bottom of the bag and keep it slightly off the ground, although I have to say these are not particularly big and they are leather anyway, so I'd say it's the least relevant feature of this bag. It has this sort of extra leather triangle here with the Givenchy written on. It is a top handle bag, but it has also a detachable strap, and the strap has, oops, it's turned around, this sort of studs detail, which is pretty subtle but very neat. Inside is mainly a massive bucket. It doesn't have divisor, it doesn't have anything, but it has on one side a big, it's difficult to see because it's all black, a big pocket with the zip, so that's for extra security. And then on the other side you have two pockets of two different sizes that are open, and the inside is in fabric. Starting with the pros, for me the biggest pro is that this is an absolutely stunning bag. This is a bag done with incredible craftsmanship. I love the box leather. I love how smooth and shiny it is. It immediately gives us such a luxurious touch and makes it look so refined. I absolutely love the structure of the bag, again, simply because it has so much structure to it. It immediately looks a lot more elevated compared to your regular tote bag. So considering that I wanted a bag for work, there was a beautiful professional work bag, but that wasn't the classic tote bag or backpack that everyone had. I wanted something that looked a little bit more formal, a little bit more elevated for those big meetings. This absolutely serves that purpose. It doesn't have a lot of branding either. Yes, it has the Givenchy written here, but to be honest, it's not particularly big, and I would say I wear it a lot of time the other way around, so people don't necessarily see the logo. And to be honest, because this is not the most popular bag and this is not the most popular brand either, a lot of people don't notice it. I've been bringing this to work for years, and I think one person picked up on the fact that this is actually a designer bag. So in that, it is a lot more subtle. Also, it's quite handy for work, I would say, because it really holds a ton. I know that this is only the medium and it doesn't necessarily, I mean, definitely it looks big, it's half of me, but it doesn't necessarily look as big as what it actually holds inside. That's what I'm trying to say. This is really a black hole. It holds a lot, and I would say it doesn't have a lot of features inside, which for some people is a problem. For me, I actually prefer it because I find that when you have too many inserts and pockets, in reality, first, it's a little bit more difficult to find everything because you never remember in what pocket you put it, but also it takes a lot of space inside. So a lot of time, the more the insert, the less space you actually have. And the pockets that it has are placed very smartly, I have to say, because of course you have one big pocket that really holds a lot for extra security that is zipped, but also the other one are a good size, and I use them a lot to put those things that no one is going to bother to steal, like tissues, I don't know, a pen, my keys, but that I really need immediately, and I'm not fast to look all over my gigantic bag to be able to find them. So as I said before, simple but clever. We all like that here. In principle, I would say I like the versatility that you can hold it on your hands and put it on your shoulder, although I have to be honest, I only use it on my shoulder because I'm not really a crook of my arm or like a holding bag kind of person, just not bothered for it. Also, I have to say that this is surprising, a lot more resistant than I expected, because box leather is generally more delicate, so it shows a lot more wear and tear a lot more often. But this one, I have to say, it was pretty decent. I was surprised by how good it still looks. In terms of cons, I would say that this bag doesn't have many, but they are substantial. So at first, I would say less big cons is the fact that being smooth and shiny leather, wear and tear is definitely going to show faster than with your grains or embossed leather. This is just inevitable. I know I just said that this is way more resistant than it looked like, and it absolutely is. And I would say, even with mine, that as I said was quite buttered, you really need to go close to it to see the wear and tear. It's absolutely not obvious otherwise, but still, realistically speaking, you get for this type of leather, you know that you're going to have more wear and tear. That's something that I need to say. Secondly is the handle and strap combination. Now, the biggest problem here is that this is a very big bag, and especially if you use it for work, it's going to be too heavy for the handle. So it is a good thing that there is a strap. However, number one, it looks a little bit weird when you wear it with the strap, and that's because clearly the bag is not meant to be worn this way. Like, it sticks out on the butt, it just looks a little bit weird. This is not how it's meant to be worn, and it's not how it's meant to look like. So I would say that the strap, yes, it's good that there is, but it's more of an afterthought than anything else. So considering that this is a bag that you're going to use most of the time with the strap, I would say keep that in mind. If it's something that if you really don't like the look of it worn with the strap, then probably go for something else. The other problem is that the handles are again very structured and they are quite big. So now I'm wearing an extremely thin shirt. This is not an issue, but when you're wearing it in winter with all your layers and your big winter coat, keeping it on the shoulder is not particularly easy, and a lot of time either it slips off or the handles will dig into your armpits. But the biggest cons, and the reason why I'm actually selling this bag, is that this is unbearably heavy. Now, this is a side effect of the structure, because to give it and to maintain this beautiful structure, and in terms of structure, it's going to keep it. Unless you flatten it with a tank, the structure is going to stay because it's done in a way to keep the structure. As I said before, simple bag, lots of craftsmanship behind. So you have a very substantial leather, you have a lot of sewing around, you have a lot of reinforced leather to keep the structure. But that also means that the bag is very heavy already when it's empty. When you fill it, it becomes extremely heavy. When you put a laptop inside, it becomes unbearably heavy. And I emphasize that because I know that a lot of people say that. Most people stress that about this bag, but honestly, I underestimated that. My silly me thought, well, I've been wearing very heavy bags since I was 15. This is not going to be too much for me. And spoiler alert, it was. Surely, partially is because I'm not 15 anymore, so you know, back pain is a thing, and also I am a lot less willing to sacrifice comfort for aesthetics compared to when I was 15. But still, a huge part of it is that I underestimated how heavy this actually is. So that's why I'm emphasizing, if you also thought like me, or I always had the heavy bag, it's going to be fine, think again, it's not going to be fine. So the other bigger problem is that this, again, because of the structure, is a very big bag. It takes up a lot of space in my wardrobe. And personally, I don't have that much space to have a bag that I never use. It just takes up too much space, again, because of the structure. You can't flatten it, you can't make it smaller in any possible way. So yeah, that's the main reason why I'm selling it. Would I recommend this bag? Honestly, it depends on what is your lifestyle and what use you're going to make of this bag. So if you, like me, bought it with the idea of it being your big daily bag, definitely not. It's too heavy. it's too scratch prone for it to make sense. If you have enough space to just store it, and if you want a bag that you only pull out those days in which you want to look extra fancy, extra professional, let's say for a very important meeting, then absolutely this is a good bag. If you are commuting by car and you just put, you know, the bag on your seat and then you get to work and you put it on your table, then absolutely it's going to look beautiful. Basically, if you don't have to commute with this bag, then it's a beautiful bag. If you have to commute every day with a bag, then it doesn't make a lot of sense, just because of how heavy it is, unfortunately. And that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to my channel. I do all videos about fashion and style and curating a timeless and curated wardrobe, but in a more realistic and sustainable way. If you enjoy this kind of videos, I hope to see you back. And until next time, bye!